More now on the news that Boris Johnson's personal mobile phone number has been available online for 15 years. It appears on a press release from 2006 when the Prime Minister was a junior member of the Shadow Cabinet. The revelation comes amid heightened scrutiny of access to politicians following the recent controversy over lobbying. Well, Jamal Ahmed is a data security consultant and founder of Kasian Privacy Experts. Jamal, it's good to see you. Thanks for being with us on BBC News. How much of a concern do you think we should all have about the fact that the Prime Minister's personal mobile number has been out there for so long?
Thank you for having me, Clive. I think the fact that Prime Minister's phone number has been publicly available for 15 years now is absolutely ridiculous, and it raises alarm bells across all security levels. If you think back to last year when we figured Jeff Bezos, he had his phone hacked, and he did an urgent investigation into that. And the reason he had his phone hacked is somebody in his contacts sent him a message. He clicked on that link, and the next thing we know, all of his private messages about his divorce and other sensitive material are available to everyone. Now, this Prime Minister has had his phone number out there for 15 years. Nobody is infallible. There are so many people that I come across who are CEOs or intelligent people who who are victims of ransomware attacks, and in most situations they end up paying it. Now, in this situation where we have a prime minister, where we have someone who's been in positions of power for over 15 years, there are other states out there that would be very keen to be interested in the kinds of communications that our prime minister is having. And we all know from recent reports that the Prime Minister is very open at having text messages and WhatsApp conversations with other people, which could lead to security problems as well as national embarrassment.
So when you hear ministers say, as we've heard today, that, this is a storm in a teacup, the Prime Minister and the people around him are responsible when it comes to sort of mobile communications, when we hear the Chancellor of the Exchequer say, well, the Prime Minister is a very open person and he needs to be in contact with members of the public and that they should have the ability to get in touch with him. Do you think that is overblown or is that kind of defence warranted?
I think it's a ridiculous thing to say that the Prime Minister, the most powerful person in this country, doesn't need additional security for the conversations, which might be privileged, there might be sensitive information, and there might be information in there that could significantly have impacts across industry. To say that we shouldn't worry about the security of the communications of our Prime Minister just because he wants to be an approachable person is absolutely ridiculous. We banned Huawei from our networks for going forward for less than this. The fact that the Prime Minister's phone number has been out there for 15 years, the fact that it could be exposed, it could be cloned, and it's most likely that it is being monitored for a number of years now by some malicious states, it raises alarm bells across all security standards, and anyone I've spoken to can't actually believe that this is in the news.
All right. So, I mean, how easy would it be for a person with the right knowledge to be able to use this mobile number for nefarious means?
It's easy for any criminal or sophisticated criminal with some basic cyber hacking skills to be able to clone the Prime Minister's phone. Now, the other thing is you can go on Google and you can find an app where you can clone a number and you can message someone and have a laugh pretending you're someone in their contacts. Now, the Prime Minister is likely to have connections with very important people, very powerful and influential people. And those people could be duped into thinking that they're speaking to the Prime Minister because his number's been out there. And those people could fall for scams. And one thing that I know from my experience is most CEOs, most powerful people, most politicians, when they are a victim of ransomware, they want to keep it quiet, so they end up paying the ransom. So this exposes all of the Prime Minister's contacts over the last 15 years to all of this blackmail, and we don't know how many of these people have actually fallen victim to this and have paid off those criminals.
Do you think there are questions to be asked about the people around the Prime Minister, those responsible for communications and those people who are involved in dealing with access to the Prime Minister? If this number has been out there for such a long time, it does seem strange to some that others around the Prime Minister haven't said, well, hang on a second, this might not be a good idea.
I mean, I think there is a lot of accountability questions to be answered here, and it begs the question, what has been the due diligence that we've been doing, and what are the protocols that we have in place? Because if our Prime Minister's number has been out there for 15 years, and that's allowed to continue, and it's only now we've just come across and discovered this, there are some big vulnerabilities in the security practices around 10 Downing Street.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Jamal Ahmed, thank you for joining us. Thanks very much indeed.